Senator Eleanor Sobel, I've known her for many, many years. She has known me for many, many years. And of course, we have Tamara with us also, Tamara Ayon with us. She is director with Emerge and has been working with the government. But Senator Sobel is our guest, and she's a member of the synagogue, Temple Solel, and I've known her ever since then. It has been more than almost about 20 years now, and she has known me, and it's about 20 years now she has known me, and it has been a pleasure to know her. She's been a wonderful person, has always been around with interfaith, and support all the activities that we have been doing. I always remember that. Yeah, so it's a pleasure to have her here with us, and I don't want to take away from her time, but it's an honor to have her. As I said, she's been to Pakistan. She'll tell you about that, and she may tell you about she was in charge once of the committee of the Sharia as a senator. So she has been there, a woman with some experience and leadership. So it's an honor and pleasure to have her.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Sheikh Sharif, for inviting me into this prestigious mosque. I can't believe the number of people that are here in the middle of the day. You're very, very devoted to your religion. It's very hard. I belong to a temple in Hollywood, and it's very hard to get people to come to services on Friday night. And also, all of you are fasting, which is incredible, for a month, Ramadan. So the Sheikh and I go back about 24 years, and we were part of something called the Interfaith Council, and we talked about how we need that today, an interfaith council. I heard an alarming statistic that only 23 to 30% of the people in the United States understand Islam, which means that 70% of the people do not know anything about you or who you are, and many of them fear you because of what's going on in the world. So I come here today to offer you peace, friendship, and hope that America's society, especially in Florida, can work together with you. About 30 years ago, I had the opportunity to visit Pakistan. I have family in the State Department, and I visited Islamabad. Any of you here from Islamabad? Here's somebody. And I was in Lahore, and it was the time when the Russians were helping us with the Mujahideen, helping us to, erase communism in Pakistan. And what was I doing there? Well, my brother-in-law was with the State Department, and at that time, Zaire was the general in charge, and my sister-in-law ran what was called a basti, a clinic in Pakistan. So it was very interesting for me to learn about this religion. But it goes back even further because I was a history major in college, and I took a course in Indian history. And I learned about the issues in a book about the problems Pakistan and India had. And I understood the need for you to have your own nation. So I asked the Sheikh how he felt about Israel having its own nation. It means a lot to my people. And he said, in the Quran, people have a right to exist, which I feel very good about. But most people don't know that. All we hear about in the news today is ISIS. That's all we hear about. And all of you are painted with the same brush that you all belong, out of ignorance, belong to ISIS. But I know that's not true, and you know that's not true. We, as Americans, need your help to educate the rest of the population, the 70% who don't know what you stand for. peace, love, and commonality. I was just, my sister Rebecca is here, and we were talking about, you were just hearing about charity. Well, in Judaism, we have a word for that. It's called tzedakah. I feel being an elected official is like giving tzedakah, because I'm one of those elected officials that has worked to help those who do not speak for themselves in Tallahassee, who do not have their chance to be heard, but I speak for them. As your leader has said, I am chair until November of Children, Family, and Elder Affairs, which deals with abuse of little kids and seniors. So I run the gamut. As chair of the committee, I have a lot of power. I have to confess that I'm a Democrat, and I'm a proud Democrat, but Tallahassee's government is mostly Republican. There are only 14 Democratic senators and 26 Republicans. The governor's Republican, the House is Republican, and the Senate is Republican. So I'm a minority in Tallahassee. During my term as chairperson of this committee, I was asked to hear a bill about Sharia law. And it came from people who were senators who were right-wing senators. And I saw it as something divisive, that nobody came to me in my constituency, which I represent Hollywood, Pembroke Pines, Cooper City, Plantation, Miramar, Hallandale Beach, Dania, parts of Fort Lauderdale. Nobody came to me and said, oh, could you do something about Sharia law? Nobody. But this was a way to create a wedge between people who did not understand Sharia law. And eventually, when it came to my committee, I refused to hear the bill. And that's the power of the chair. I refused to hear the bill because it was very divisive. So that bill died that year. There was no discussion. And the person proposing it, that we should get rid of Sharia law in our courts, and we do recognize religious law in American courts. We also have, Judaic law in American courts. But Sharia law was the one everybody talked about. I'm sure you've read about it in the newspaper. And I got a lot of hits on my state website that, I'm a bad person because I support Sharia law. Be that as it may, it died that year, but the following year, they didn't send the bill to my committee. It went to a person who's a right-wing person, a person who exaggerates differences and creates a fear among the legislature. And the bill reached the floor of the Senate. And what we really did is that we watered it down so much that it really just reflected current law, if you follow what I'm saying. So there's really no change. So, but this is what goes on in Tallahassee, and I was real proud to even delay it, make it heard, protect your rights, your religious rights in the courts here. And that's what happened in Tallahassee. I'm going to close by saying that we have a lot more in common than people know. Your religion and the Jewish religion stem from Abraham and Isaac. We have a commonality there. You believe in parv, kosher food. We believe in kosher food. You believe in one God. We believe in one God. Your Messiah has come, ours hasn't. That's the big difference. So the real thing is, religions can work together. We can find commonalities. Tzedakah, charity, is a wonderful thing to help others. And I also was told that you feed the homeless. We feed the homeless in Hollywood on Sundays with all different interfaith groups. And on Sunday we do it because the Christians are at church on Sunday, so the other religions help out on Sunday. So you're all welcome to come to the Scotch Street shelter. I know some of you do this in Fort Lauderdale. You can come to the Hollywood one. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. I want to say we need your help with any kind of information of anybody who seems to not be acting according to the standards of your religion, who's out of sorts. A lot has happened because of the internet, misinformation, bad judgment. A lot of these people following ISIS have psychological problems, mental health issues. We tried to fund mental health this year in the Florida Senate. It's very important if a person has psychological problems to get them the right help. And there's also the issue of guns. We need less guns, not more guns. So together, we could all pray and be one people and promote the best interests of our society. Because you want what I want. I have 6 grandkids. I just had a baby 4 days ago. You want what we want. Opportunity and respect and love. We all want that. We all want that. That's what America's about. And together, all of us can make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Eleanor Sobel. And I wanted to share one thing about the senator. Anybody has any question or you want to meet her, of course, you got to make an appointment. But her office is right at the City Hall in Hollywood. City Hall in Hollywood. And the senator, to be honest with you, she has fulfilled her 2 terms as senator and has done a lot of great justice to her position and her situation. And I mean, she was humble enough, she didn't say all of that, but, you know, mere fact, she's been to Pakistan, killed that sort of hate thing with the Sharia bill, being very interfaith. We have known for many years. I think it's a blessing to know her. She's in a very powerful position. Her office is right in City Hall. And I think when she resigned, she's hoping to be the mayor. And we hope her to be the mayor of Hollywood. So, you know, Darul is in the middle of Hollywood and Pembroke Pines. So in advance, you have the support of our community, Senator. We have a lot of people here who live in Hollywood. And, you know, those of you who did not register and have not registered, Tamara will handle that with Emerge. And, you know, as long as we have the senator here with that kind of power and connections and Pembroke Pines and Hollywood, and the senator becomes the next mayor of Hollywood, we're in good hands around town. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure again. Thank you. Thank you very much.